So I bought a katana at a flea market from some Mexican dude in a van, as one does to protect their networking equipment from potential burglars and other ne'er-do-wells. However, I realized upon bringing it home that it's dull, so I decided I'm going to have to use it more as a threat than an actual weapon, and I figured what better way to do that than printing out a stand. Of course, the first step was to measure it, so I got a rough estimate of its size at 1 inch by 2 inches. Of course, when I tried putting that into my least favorite program to use, Fusion 360, I realized it only accepts commie units, so I went to Google and found out it's 25.4 millimeters in an inch, which I rounded up to 25 because I wanted to stand up to communism by omitting decimals. I also just looked up the size of your average thumbtack and used that for my model, hoping it would match my thumbtacks, which it did. And I ended up with these. Of course, life is never easy, and I had trouble getting the stands in the wall because I left no clearance for my hands, and when I finally did get them on, the katana was just too heavy for my thumbtacks, and I didn't want to use screws because I'm not that committed to the joke. So I started cooking up some hot dogs because at this point I was hungry, and I was wondering while cooking up the hot dogs, in the Rick and Morty Bushland Adventures parody, Rick says to get some chips for the road, but I thought Australians said crisps, not chips. So I asked my Australian friend and he confirmed they say chips. Anyway, then I figured instead of putting the katana on the wall, I could put it on the table, and I put a base on the stands, which I shaped really weird for some reason. And I also tried putting a dragon imprint on them, which in hindsight I'm glad didn't work because it's not that dope of a dragon pattern. I spent like 10 years printing them out and put the katana on them, and there it is, a katana on a table with networking equipment.